Hi, this is Steve with Blue Sky Minds. I'm here to talk a little bit today about dynamics. So we're going to talk a little bit about flamenco guitar, just a couple, really just one technique from flamenco that I've taken, and I use it in all kinds of music just to add that dynamic element, especially when we're talking about just me, myself, and my acoustic guitar, okay? So you might go out to the local bar, restaurant, and see a gentleman just like myself playing some songs, and you say, well, that's the same chord progression the whole way through, and it sounds kind of flat, right? And so what we want to get away from that is we want to get away from that flat sounding straight across the board and add a little bit of dynamics into it. So when you have a whole band, what do? They just add on instruments to power up that chorus. Take those instruments back out, bring down the verse so that it powers back up when they add in the keyboard or other instruments at the chorus. You have just you, yourself, and an acoustic guitar. You have to be a little bit more creative with those dynamic elements. So here's that aspect of the flamenco guitar, right? So what they do is kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4. And so, you could use either of these fingers to go down, and then you're going to go up with the thumb. And then as you go up with the thumb, you can tap the body of the guitar, and then you're going to strum up with the hand. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means if I have just kind of a basic, we'll go with what I call the pop music progression, which is G, D, E minor, C. And then I can just kind of add in that tap like this. Now here's another thing that we can do, right? This is what I call a chuck. So a chuck can be kind of a muted strum. So you can do that with your left hand. That's generally, in a sense, easier to do the chuck with the left hand. But once you learn how to do a chuck with your right hand, you'll never go back to the left hand. Especially if you get used to kind of having a free wrist and kind of playing around with rhythms and moving around your wrist, you'll never go back. And so what is the right-handed chuck? And why do I call it a chuck? It's because of a chukka chukka, chukka chukka. Kind of like a funk rhythm. Go chukka chukka, chukka chukka. And so what I'm going to do here is, you might know this as a palm mute, right? So a palm mute, not really the palm, but the side of the hand, rests on the strings like this. And then when it's like that, you can still be playing whatever chord shape with your left hand, but this gets that muted sound. And so how I like to throw that into the progression is to just kind of so there you go. So if I do a G, D, E minor, C, now what I can do is I can go start here when I want that light, mellow verse part. And then I can, go on to a full strum. This is sort of the end of the verse or the pre-chorus. It's going to lead into the chorus, and then that's when I'll add my percussive elements in. So how do we do that, right? So it's down, chuck up, And so I use my hands and my fingers to do that chuck like that, right? So it's gonna take some getting used to, but it's all about getting that side of the hand on the strings before you kind of sweep your fingers down like that. So down, chuck, up. And then we go to the other part that we started with, which is down, up, tap, up. Down, chuck, up, down, up, tap, up. Down, chuck, up, down, up, tap, up. Down, chuck, up, down, up, tap, up. All right? And so those are some good dynamic elements, some percussive elements you could add to your guitar playing so that when you play alone with just your acoustic guitar, you're not sounding flat across the board. You want to have that dynamic element. It makes it more fun for you as a performer, and it makes it better for the audience as well. So we'll be doing some more videos kind of looking at other dynamic elements we can add in and what we can do, you know, what other kind of rhythms can we create when we're adding in these percussive strums. But those are kind of the basics, right? So just to review, you've got a chuck, which is kind of a palm muted strum. And I start off with a down, chuck, up. And then the second part is the down, up, tap, up. And so that down, up, that up is with the thumb, which enables the hand to tap the body here and then strum upward. Now these flamenco techniques and the flamenco guitar players, they use classical guitar, which is nylon strings. It's a lot easier to do. Those kinds of flamenco style strums, you know. But once you kind of get used to doing it, I actually first practiced this on a ukulele, so that's nylon strings too, so you can kind of practice those. And then, you know, you start to get good at it and you can do it on any stringed instrument at that point. So that's a good place to start. So check out Blue Sky Minds, book some classes. The information will be in the detailed notes below. Comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.